Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know I've not uploaded a video in a little while. I'm not quite in my normal setting. I've been working abroad, so I've not really had a chance to get anything up. Been busy, been some dodgy Wi-Fi where I am. But I wanted to bring a review for you for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, the end of the Skywalker saga. Just a quick bit of background, just so you know where I'm at going into this film. Star Wars is probably my favourite franchise out of any franchise in the world. I watched it ever since I was little, and the original trilogy holds a really special place for me. There are some parts of the prequels I like as well. There's some parts I don't like, and I really enjoyed The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. It was okay. There was some stuff in it I didn't really like, but I wanted to bring you the review for this the end of the saga because it's such a momentous film in terms of where it means for Star Wars. So just off the bat, there are going to be no spoilers at all. It is going to sound very vague because there is a lot in this film that I can't go into without spoilers, good and bad. So I'm going to keep this as vague as possible, as spoiler free as possible. If you want to go in completely blind, if you've not seen a trailer yet at all, maybe stay away. I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you want to go in completely blind, that's fine. But I will kind of discuss stuff that we have seen in the trailers that they have revealed prior to the film, but nothing too in depth for major plot points or anything like that. So with the review, so Rise of Skywalker, how is it? It's a movie. That's maybe the best way I can put it. They throw so much at you, and I think a lot of this film is a course correction from what happened from The Last Jedi. There was a lot of fan backlash from that film to the events that happened and how it took what J.J. Abrams has set up in The Force Awakens and kind of threw that all away and made its own film. Now this is in trying to course correct that to give people back what they liked about The Force Awakens, maybe some of the nostalgia points, but it's just an absolute mess. You can really tell that this was not the plan going forward. I don't think there's probably even was maybe a clear plan for when they made The Force Awakens. They thought they'd make that, see how that goes, make The Last Jedi and so forth. I mean, you can really tell this is not, there's no coherent, this film is such a mess of a plot, and it just bounces from place. It's like a video game. Like you have to go to, they have to go to this place to get this item, to go to this place to talk to this person, to have a fight with this person, and it just bounces around so much like a video game level. It's just really, really confusing to what is really going on and what the real main story of this is. The villain, obviously, as you've seen in the trailer, you would have seen some of the posters, that Emperor Palpatine is back in this film. He's the kind of main threat, and it's kind of built up to him. And I really, really think that he was thrown in because, spoiler alert for The Last Jedi, they kill Snoke. Snoke dies in The Last Jedi, and I think they panicked. That was never maybe the plan to start off with, because I think J.J. Abrams had a plan for Snoke when he made The Force Awakens, and they got rid of him, so he had to throw somebody in, and we threw in the Emperor, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. His design in the film is great, like the way he looks and his whole demeanor is spot on. Ian McDiarmid is great as the Emperor. He's the villain that we know from The Empire Strikes Back, but the reason he's there and the motivations that he has, it's just all over the place. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, if I'm honest, and it's just, you can really feel like this has been shoehorned in because Snoke had died and they had to throw a villain in there because Kylo Ren probably isn't enough to be the villain on his own. They throw a lot of nostalgia points at you to kind of, they're very much taking their member berries from the South Park series. You've ever seen that when they talk about, oh, do you remember Death Star? Yeah, I remember. You remember Star Destroyers? Yeah, I remember. It's just so thrown at you. It's not all bad. There are some good points. I think what they did with Leia, for the limited footage that they probably had, because I know that this was going to be Leia's movie. This was going to be where Leia takes over, because The Force Awakens was Han's movie, The Last Jedi was Luke's, and this was going to be Leia's. And unfortunately, Carrie Fisher passed away before they even got a chance to shoot a single scene for the movie. So they had to use previous footage that they had got from The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, and kind of right around it. And for what they had to work with, I think they did a really good job. And what the send-off the story that she gets in the movie, and the way they kind of conclude her kind of arc in the Skywalker saga, I think he's done for the most part really well. There are some obviously small criticisms I would have it. There are some points where you can kind of see she's not really in that shot, and she's been added in, but for the most part I think they did a good job of her, so I don't think there can be too many complaints for what they had for her, the way that she got. As well as John Williams' music, again, for any problems you ever have with a Star Wars film, whether it be the prequels, whether it be this, whether it be any, John Williams is never the problem. He always hits it out of the park, and in this he does the exceptional, one of his best. Those little points when that music kicks in, the little nostalgia points, as much as some of the visual nostalgia is a little heavy-handed, John Williams is not. He is amazing, and once again he delivers a great score, touching on some classic score elements as well as obviously some new pieces as well in this film, which is great. And then that is about it for the good points. My main thing, it's a mess. It's a conclusion that it kind of rushes to get to the end, and it gives you this finale, and it's just a bit some of the Force stuff as well in this. There's some good evolutions from what we saw in The Last Jedi, but there's one particular thing that has kind of come out of nowhere, and it's just like, how does this exist? How have you not even, it's kind of just thrown in, and it doesn't feel like a natural evolution to what the Force should be able to do. It just seems like they threw it in because they needed it for a certain point later in the film. It just really just threw me. I'm just like, oh, and it happens quite early on, so I'm just like, oh no, this is not where I wanted this film to go. So unfortunately, the end of the Skywalker saga has disappointed me as a Star Wars fan. I've seen a lot of things online that people saying this may be the worst Star Wars movie of all time. I don't know if it is, because but the sheer lack of vision that's in this film, as well as this whole trilogy, has really kind of left it on a kind of sour ending. And considering this year we've had conclusions to the Avengers Infinity Saga, we had Game of Thrones, we had X-Men, we had this, considering out of those four things only one of them really stick the landing, it was Avengers Endgame, if you didn't guess. It's been a bit of a rough year for kind of big franchise ending moments, so unfortunately The Rise of Skywalker doesn't quite live up to the expectations of ending this epic saga. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes from here. Again, sorry this has been quite vague, but I don't want to spoil anything, but I wanted to get the review out. Maybe when I'm back in the UK this weekend, I'll do a kind of spoiler more film where we'll go to more in-depth points to what I did and didn't like of the film. Those are my thoughts of the kind of saga overall as we now got to the ending. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Again, apologies I've not had too many videos out lately. I am back in the UK, back home from this weekend going forward, so over the Christmas period I'll get some more films out and what I've seen and get some reviews to you. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.